Welcome to the interview show. This is Scott Wood, your host. I'm standing in an alleyway behind the Commodore Ballroom. I've got CityReal with me. How's it going?
Not bad. How about you, Scott?
I'm doing well. What's been the highlight of your day so far?
Ooh, getting here and getting the day over with would have to be the highlight, I'd have to say. I've had a hectic day.
So can you talk a little bit about the road to the Commodore Ballroom?
Well, I actually live in Vancouver, so I was really fortunate to have a good relationship with Live Nation, and they reached out to me, and thankfully I'm able to open this legendary show.
Tonight, you're going to open for Method Man. The other act on the bill is CityReal. You're CityReal. You guys both are Vancouver rappers. You both have real in your name. If you guys were going to do a battle, what would be your secret weapon against CityReal?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm not a big battle rapper. I guess the fact that he's...
Well, it doesn't have to be rap. It could be, a secret fist fighting move.
I don't know. He's a really talented dude, so I have respect for that guy, and I'm not really on the battle scene. But I'd have to say if it would have to hit with a low blow, it would be the fact that he's probably a Vernon rapper and not really a Vancouver rapper. But I have a lot of respect for this music, and he's been around here for a long time, so I'm just joking around. Nothing, no hard feelings or anything like that.
Oh, gosh, you're so nice.
I'm trying to be humble. It's kind of the antithesis of what people expect from a rapper, so better to be polite and courteous than the cocky asshole, excuse my language, the unamicable artist. Hey, this is CityReal. We're standing in a back alley behind the Commodore with sexy Scott Wood, and you're listening to the interview show.
And I appreciate being called sexy. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate being interviewed by such a sexy motherfucker. No, I'm sorry, by such a sexy guy like you. I'm sorry, this is college radio. We got to keep it clean here.
Sometimes it feels like time just keep passing me by. Time waits for no one, I know, but that's life.
I swear it was just a week ago, shit was all good. Reminiscing at the staircase where we all stood then. It was all wood, looking at the replacement. I could still feel the ghost creeping through the cracks of the pavement. Amazement, could have been the weed I was puffing, thinking how we came so far from nothing. And I knew I wasn't bluffing, man, look at me now. Got people from the past still asking me how. I see them clap in the crowd, loud I vowed to make them proud. Pray the sunlight, fight through the clouds. Still all I ever got was some tears from heaven. For the ways I was living, still pray I'm forgiven. Thank God that I'm driven. Hope he watch my health. I don't trust my girl, shit, I don't trust myself. Tell her don't be bad, cause she a product of this poison. I'm giving noises, asking who the other voice is, killing me with choices. Should I go straight quick, getting pissed off, cause we on some of the same shit. And I met a cute girl I could hit up, fed into a good, felt her whole body lit up, thinking then we would split up. But something keep pulling me back, and maybe something that we got, maybe something we lack. Past the weed, and my best friend asked me why. I said sit back and watch life pass me by. Time pass
keeps on passing me by, but I don't wanna die. Don't wanna touch the sky. Time keeps on passing me by, but I don't wanna die. Don't wanna touch the sky.
Yeah, staying up, smoking bomb cron. I was long gone, and it dawned on me it was true. No one knew what had gone wrong. See, some history is better left unread, and some things are better left unsaid. How we become bred by the sins of man, and I was taught how to live on this sinful land, but never planned for these bad habits, and still feel consumed by how heavy feeling that gets. Thinking I should calm down, feel my mind playing tricks on me, and paranoia from the past still picks on me. I feel better with some chicks on me, some tight gear and some fresh white kicks on me, and I don't wanna go, but the clock ticks on, and we all get older, we don't all get grown, and it was shown that to live one has to die. So I sit back and watch life pass me by. Time pass
keeps on passing me by, but I don't wanna die. Don't wanna touch the sky. Time keeps on passing me by. Oh no 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 no. Oh time.
Hey, this is CityReal, and you're listening to the interview show with Scott Wood.
Welcome to the interview show. This is Scott Wood, your host. You just heard Passing Me By. That's off Good Morning Blues by CityReal. I've got CityReal here with me. I'd love it if you could talk a bit about this track.
Passing Me By was actually done for the first album. It was one of the first tracks I brought to Wes to convince him to work with me. So it was on my first album called The Beginning. It was honestly just a beat I had made that I thought would sound good with a blues player, and was really kind of the seed that spawned this entire collaboration and album and EP and everything that's come from me and Wes so far. So that's the original song that we did, basically.
Great. So you've just put out a record, Good Morning Blues. It's a sort of a collaboration album where you team up with legendary blues singer-guitarist Wes Mackey. Can you tell the story of how you found this guy?
I found him when I was having dinner with my ex-girlfriend on New Year's Eve at Gotham's. No, wait a second. It was not Gotham's. It was the Shore Club, which is another Eisenstadt place. And I mean, it was like kind of a no-brainer. As soon as I saw him, I first heard him, and it sounded amazing. I went down there, got his contact info. It took a bit of convincing, but we just kind of formed a relationship and started making music from there.
So I heard that you had to have coffee with him and try to convince him to do this project. First of all, I want to know what type of guy this is, and second of all, I want to get a little bit of that conversation where you're sort of sweet-talking him.
He is an extremely nice, humble 70-year-old blues player. I mean, as far as, guys that have paid their dues that much, you kind of have to have a bit of something going for you or some kind of convincing. It was just basically giving him my entire resume and still having him be straight-faced and not crazy about it, then playing him the song. And then finally, when he heard the music, it was kind of a bit of a warmer reception, and we kind of built from there.
What's it like working with somebody who sort of comes from a different generation, a different way of doing things?
It's a great learning experience, honestly. And it really humbles you to the whole music-making process, because we come from the computer generation where anyone with a laptop and a Pro Tools can make music. But I mean, the amount of talent that comes from that generation of instrumentalists, where you really couldn't be just anyone. You had to be the most talented singer or the most talented player of some sort to even get into this world. It was really like an eye-opener kind of thing. Good
Morning Blues, it's your second record, and your second record you decided to make a hybrid record. That's, kind of ballsy, kind of gutsy. What made you decide to be so ambitious?
Well, to be completely honest, I kind of look at this as my side record, and I'm working on my second solo record now with Todor Kobakov, which is another story. But I just honestly got inspired by the sound of the blues and was just looking for something out of the norm that wasn't just, making the same old hip-hop beats and the same old hip-hop songs. And I wanted to find a real source of inspiration, and it was just a perfect combination when I saw Wes and kind of dove into, the roots of the blues kind of thing.
CityReal. At first, I thought you were an indie band, but not. You're a rapper. So I was hoping you could tell me the origin story of the name.
CityReal comes from a point when I was making documentary films with my buddy when I was in poli-sci, and we were looking at a reel of footage that was of city footage, and he said, "Pass me the CityReal," and we started making jokes about having a rap name called CityReal, and I ended up being the joke, which is the rapper called CityReal. It worked out in the end. It's been good. You produce your own beats and music, and you also write your own rhymes. That's pretty rare, or it makes you unique in the hip-hop world. So I was hoping you could talk about how your brain works developing both skill sets. I've had a background in music forever. I was like a high school band dork to a certain degree, so it kind of translated into making beats when I picked up the computer and tried having a go at it, and then I just kind of, from seeing rappers do that and basically having that I can do that too syndrome of an only child, I went and gave it a shot, and I've had success ever since. You also produce for other rappers, so I was hoping you could talk about some of your production experience. Well, I guess my best memory of producing for other rappers would be producing for Mad Child. I did honestly like a handful of songs for him for the plethora of projects he's been putting out lately, and the amount of drive that guy has is outrageous, and it really is the insight into what it takes to make it into the music industry. I mean, it was ridiculous being into that studio, and he just goes through song after song after song and never stops kind of thing. So kind of was a wake-up call that I have to put some pedal to the metal, kind of put the gas down a bit too. What's the difference in making the beats for a CityReal track compared to a Mad Child track? Ooh, one is a super beast, little monster, super angry track, and the other one is a soulful, maybe reflective, kind of introspective track. Just different styles. Hey, this is CityReal, and you're listening to the interview show with Scott Wood.
Keep moving. I got a hell on the trail. No matter what, man.
Yeah, said I got to, on my way to the top and never stop till your casket drop, and I'll kill you if you let them, so watch out who you let in. Chicks and Navy denim, been kissed by Lady Venom. Got a sick waist, love handle the thick hips, and long nights and big trips. I feel exhaustion. It's like I'm dying for a buzz in a G-man, cause every rapper kills for fortune, yo. And applause won. Can't win free, but to lose it costs none. I've been the hella back, devilish shotgun, and telling you the journey is not fun. And so this ain't a good life yet, homie, more like a bad dream. Still living off a duffel bag scheme, and I'm about to f*** the game like a tag team, working like there's two of me and try to get to mad cream. Yeah, cause I hate this crap, man. They called on God, he ain't called it back in. I can see the bullshit catching up, and I pray I keep having luck, cause yo, I got a
hellhound on my trail. Hellhound on my trail. I got a hellhound on my trail. Hellhound on my trail.
Okay, from Van City's finest to Scarborough Dread, smoke any MC like a Marlboro Red. Hellhound on my when I'm burning rubber. I'm that kid Bam Bam, son of Barney Rubble. Okay, I had a little money trouble, but now I'm straight doing shows, watch my money double. Dog, I'll leave you truly pummeled. I'll leave you mentally disturbed like the movie Gummo. I made a deal with the devil down in Alabama. Now I see things clear, view is panoramic. I'll make a rapper panic, cause I'm a little varmint. And every little word I spit, it's a bit alarming. CityReal and Mad Child mic controllers, dice rollers, but white like Sprite Cola. I drink moonshine and pop off, son. Swamp rat on the porch with a shotgun. I'm a featherweight, he's a heavyweight. I'll be running from the devil till I levitate. I ain't stopping, he'll be chasing me to heaven's gate, knocking loud, yelling, let me in, please, for heaven's sake.
Hellhound on my trail. Hellhound on my trail. I got a hellhound on my trail. Hellhound on my trail. Yes, I'm running from a hellhound. I know he thinks I'm hellbound. But when you're running from your past, you run like you live way too fast. Oh yeah, you can't capture me. Oh, you can't capture me. No, you can't capture me.
Hey, this is CityReal, and you're listening to The Interview Show with Scott Wood.
Welcome back to the interview show. This is Scott Wood, your host. You just heard Hellhound by CityReal. That's featuring Mad Child from Swollen Members. I've got CityReal here with me in an alley behind the Commodore Ballroom. I would love it if you could talk a bit about this track.
Hellhound is a classic Robert Johnson. For anyone that doesn't know this, they should Google this and do their research. Robert Johnson is one of the originators of blues music as we know it. Hellhound on My Trail is one of the most classic Robert Johnson songs, and I was able to kind of sample the original Robert Johnson Hellhound on My Trail recording and make kind of a hip-hop beat out of it. And then when I told Mad Child the story of Robert Johnson, and really in a nutshell, his whole family passed away, and then he went into the bayous of near New Orleans and whatnot. And he was an average blues player at the time, but when he came out, he was playing chords and stuff that no one had ever seen and no one had ever heard. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm paraphrasing the story slightly wrong, but after that, he was kind of just at the forefront of the scene. But the big thing he was saying to everyone is he had, met the crossroads and been possessed by the devil in the bayous. And I don't know if anyone knows Matt Shaw from Swollen Members, but that kind of struck a chord with him a little bit. He liked the vibe of that story, and he got on that beat right away.
So why do you think the vibe of that story caught Mad Child's attention?
Why do I think the misguided angel liked the blues legend possessed by the devil in the bayous? I think it has that black magic element to the nth degree that very little music captures, but obviously Swollen Members tends to draw on.
This is the busiest alley I've been in a long time.
Method Man, Wu-Tang.
So, Swollen Members, Mad Child, I read that you are a battle axe warrior. Is this true?
I am part of the Battle Axe Warriors movement, yes.
And what does that mean for people who don't know?
Battle Axe Warriors is just like a family. It's a crew. It's basically modeled off the old like rock steady crews and the old hip hop movements that really embodied a lot of the culture, not just music, from the b-boy, the graffiti, everything really. And it's kind of like trying to bring that back into hip hop, and that's what Mad Child's done with the Battle Axe Warriors crew.
The way it's always said is that you're an inductee, which implies some sort of ceremony, an oath maybe.
Well, personally, I mean, I was inducted when I was on tour with them, so it was maybe a bit more informal than the usual thing. But it was definitely it was a momentous occasion for me. I grew up listening to soul members, so I was definitely honored to be asked to be a part of the whole family.
As we've been talking, you produce your beats as well as making the rhymes. In many interviews that I've read, you talk about your sounds and how you make them as a reaction to what's popular in mainstream hip hop. So I was hoping you could talk a bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm somewhat consciously try and do the opposite of what's, popping to a certain degree these days. Not on purpose to where I'm like trying to come out of left field all the time, but I just really am not a dance music club rap type of dude. So, I mean, I just wanted to come with a lot more of an organic, natural sound with real instruments and real instrumentalists and kind of, I really didn't see many people coming from that angle these days. So I guess it was kind of meant in that sense. Hey, this is CityReal, and you're listening to the interview show with Scott Wood.
I heard a wise man say dreams come true, but they never as good as what you once knew. So hang on to the past. You could live fast as some do, but slip, crash like flash and run through. But all the things I was told, in which piece of knowledge I must hold to the day I die. Blessed with wings, never get lost in material things, 'cause kids starve to death and these schools are hungry. So I donate my jewelry money, but yo, life moving too fast sometimes. I gotta catch it to slow down. So girl, one more glass of wine before we all in the cold ground. So live life till the nights are done, getting lit by the stars in the midnight sun. Across the aisle as I spoke up, 'cause we're home again, yes it's on again. Another child from a home of sin. In the land still filled with greed, feel the haze in my lungs, filled with past people on the street we should strive to feed. Exhale as I drive in speed, oh Lord please help my troubled soul again. Scars from the past, jaw full of grass, lost in the city with a car full of gas. Tried to escape but all's never last, so just sit parked by the shore and smoke. Came a long way but still I got far to go, so live life till the nights are done, getting lit by the stars in the midnight sun.
This is CityReal, and you're listening to the interview show with Scott Wood.
Welcome to the interview show. This is Scott Wood, your host. You just heard Nightlife by CityReal. I've got CityReal here with me. I would love it if you could talk a bit about this track.
Nightlife, I mean, that's just a track that came together pretty organically based on me and Wes sitting and jamming and coming up with a little chorus and then building on a beat, and then I wrote a verse to it that I liked. And I mean, that's just organically as it comes together for a song. No real hook or story behind that.
Well, the hooker story to this one is the story of the video, and one of the interesting things about CityReal and this record is that you try to mix political consciousness in with what you do. So I'm hoping that you can talk a little bit about that story.
Well, yeah, I mean, what brought that issue to the forefront for me was obviously the pipeline coming through BC, and I couldn't really, go anywhere without hearing about Kitimat and the Northern Gateway. So with the grant money I was given, I was able to kind of shed light on the topic to an audience that isn't usually exposed to that on a normal basis, on a regular basis. I mean, obviously everyone kind of briefly brushes over it and hears it once in a while, but it's good to actually get people thinking about the issue and maybe hopefully actively participating in some kind of debate later on and actively, swaying the topic towards one way or the other. And obviously I'm not for, oil tankers going up and down our coast and pipelines going through our rainforest. And on top of that, I was up in Fort McMurray, and it looks like, the worst natural ravage I've ever seen in my life by far. It was just lakes of sludge and nonstop, tearing up hundreds of kilometers of forest. So it was really like a nightmare up there. It's pretty crazy.
So what's the issue that the video deals with?
Well, the video basically tries to expose as much of the negative effects of the tar sands and the proposed pipeline in hopes of stopping or curtailing development in the tar sands, which would obviously include the next proposed project, which is this massive pipeline going through our province. I mean, ideally, I would love to stop that pipeline. I don't know how realistic that is in the same sense today, but the rate of growth of what's going on up there is atrocious. And the fact that we're promoting and encouraging rapid development up there, as opposed to trying to slow it down when everyone can clearly see it's completely destructive, in no way sustainable. So, I mean, I don't want to get started too much on a big tangent, but, it was just an effort to try and really bring the issue to the forefront and stop development of the tar sands.
Cool. Okay, so for your first record, all your press photos was you in a hoodie and you with a backwards baseball cap. In your press photos for this record, it's you and sort of like clean-cut, nice guy with a hipster bow tie. So I was hoping that you could talk about the evolution of style in hip-hop. For you. Just you.
For sure, yeah. No, I guess I could have to say that in the first record I was trying to fit in a lot more with the scene and with the norm, and I was not as courageous or confident in my ability to stand out as like a talent in the scene kind of thing. So it was just a mechanism to kind of fit in and do the norm, the Van City hat and the Van City hoodie and whatnot. I guess in this sense I can kind of be a lot more myself now that I've kind of found myself more in the music industry and just found myself as an artist more, and I just kind of was able to be a bit more adventurous and like I said, bring more an element of me within the marketing and stuff like that.
So when I've interviewed past groups, like I'm going to let that car zoom past us. I interviewed Boombox Saints. They are sneaker fiends. They love sneakers. So I was hoping if you had unlimited dollars, you could describe your dream stage outfit.
My dream stage outfit? Man. I guess I'm not really like a crazy fashionista or sneaker fiend or anything like that. I mean, I guess it would just be a nice LRG shirt and maybe a button up and jeans. I mean, I just like to be comfortable with a touch of myself to it. Nothing. I guess I'm boring you a little bit with this. I can see it in your face, but I hate to say it. I'm just kind of like the next dude. You know what I mean? Same old guy.
No bow tie?
Oh, well, the bow tie. I mean, the bow tie is everywhere. I bet you we could stand on the corner and find a couple bow ties these days. But no, I mean that's just just a little flair. I like bow ties these days. They're coming back. You don't like the bow tie?
I'm not just in the bow tie at all, but you know what? There's not a lot of hip hop guys that wear bow ties.
Well, I humbly disagree to a certain degree. There's not a lot of hip-hop guys coming from this scene and the whole Vancouver movement and stuff like that. But, I mean, when you get to the whole forefront of what's really popping off in hip-hop, I think it's growing up. So I do think it is making an insurgence into, people growing up a little bit, like I was saying. You can't wear snapbacks and baggy jeans or whatever, you know what I mean? Be sneakerheads till you're 40. I mean, you can, but, you might not be the best route.
Yes. Growing up, that's another theme I noticed in a lot of the interviews I've read that you've done. I've got a quote for you of yours where you're talking about hip-hop and how it's really I'm going to say the quote again.
Sorry, my mistake. I love the research, so I really love the interview. It's the best interview I've had for a long time. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks. You're so nice. All right, I'm going to try to get the quote out. Here we go. Hip-hop's not really growing up with its audience. It's still directed at 14-year-old girls, so I'd love you to talk a bit about that.
Yes, Francois from Vancouver Sun picked that one out. I said, and to be specific about the quote, a large segment of it is directed towards 14-year-old girls. And I definitely think that the segment that is prevalent in the mainstream and is really just broadcast to the world as what hip-hop is just, is the pop standard these days. And anytime a genre of music hits being the pop standard, it just gets, dumbed down and diluted, and it is really like a teeny bop version of hip-hop that you're seeing in the mainstream. So that's really all I meant by that. It is like the whole concept of that was just the hip-hop being at a fork in the road and actually, being at the point where rock was like 40 years ago, where, everyone was either a teeny bopper and you're up to no good listening to those rockers, and now there's just a million different types of rock, and it's evolved and developed and grown with its audience kind of thing.
So what is CityReal and Good Morning Blues contributing to hip-hop?
Well, it's contributing an amazing blues hip-hop fusion album, and I haven't really seen an amazing blues hip-hop fusion album around for a while, so I just try to bring something new and fresh to the table in that sense kind of thing, using old classic elements of music that are kind of respected and just classic stuff kind of thing. What can I say? Yeah.
All right, CityReal, thank you for coming on my show. I appreciate that. At the end of the show, I love it when the guest picks one of their tracks, talks a bit about it as I bring it up.
Well, thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. I'm a fan. The track I'll have to pick will be a track called Angel with my friend named D-Sisive, who is long-time Juno nominee many times. I don't know how many times he's been nominated. And that what we did when I was in Toronto on tour with him. I mean, it's just kind of a song that captured the moment. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's one of my favorites off the record, so I hope you guys enjoy it.
Awesome. So we're going to listen to Angel by CityReal featuring D-Sisive.
Exactly.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, man. Hey, this is CityReal. We're standing in a back alley behind the Commodore with sexy Scott Wood, and you're listening to The Interview Show.
And I appreciate being called sexy. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate being interviewed by such a sexy motherfucker. No, I'm sorry, by such a sexy guy like you. I'm sorry, this is college radio. We got to keep it clean here. Keep it clean. But you were trying to spice me up later, so I'm just trying to spice up the end a bit.
Lord, I've been down. Need to get back off the ground. Gotta find me an angel. Oh Lord, I've been down. Need to get back off the ground. I need an angel. I need an angel. Lord, I've been down. Need to get back off the ground. I need an angel. I need an angel.
Think I need an angel in my life that can save me from the sadness I smother with smoke. Away from all the madness that others provoke. And I'm the one struggling to get by, so I never stay home, and every day I get, and every night's a bad dream, cause I really can't sleep. Counting cars riding by like they damn sheep, and still trying to hold on to what I can't keep. But I guess comfort kills, and still trying to stop the pain, but I ain't one for pills. Blame it on the drugs and say it come from skills. Comfortably numb, I barely see my own bed since the summer. Life ain't the mercy of a drummer. Heard he's an up-and-comer that the crew brought, and he going street curve to the rooftop. Hope I get to see her, still looking for my wife, and the way to be content while I'm waiting on my life. So Lord, I said,
Lord, I've been down. Need to get back off the ground. I need an angel. I need an angel. Lord, I've been down. I need to get back off the ground. I need an angel. Lord, 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 Lord. Shine a light on me. Shine a light on me. Make me believe in what I can't see. Oh.
I heard every door knock, ignored every phone ring, deleted every email. I'd rather be alone with my shadow and my fears, a candle in my tears, the demons in my head, and I ain't battled them in years. So I let them live rent-free, carelessly breathing, mogwai while I'm staring at the ceiling. Fan blade spin in a man-made prison, eating tablets, hoping that this band-aid sticks. I fall asleep on the wrong side and wake up yawning on the wrong side. Prince Charming, never. If a tree falls in the forest, do you ever hear the bark cry? A shattered light bulb under dark skies. I try to sleep and I only want to see dark, but there's always a leak in the eaves trough, and nightmares are the only thing I dream of.
Lord, I've been down. Need to get back off the ground. I need an angel. I need an angel. Lord, I've been down. I need to get back off the ground. I need an angel. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lord, I've been down. Need to get back off the ground. Gotta find me an angel.